So
Yeah.
obviously, I'm guessing, a couple of years later, this brings us round to your band, Europe. I know you weren't the
Yeah.
original drummer in the band, but
Right.
how did that come about, Ian?
Well, this was back in 1982.
Sure.
There was like a band contest thing that was happening in Sweden called Rock SM, like Swedish mastership of rocking. And it was like almost like a football tournament. It went from town to town, and in every city, 5 or 6 bands were competing, and one band went on to the next level, and stuff like that. So my band before the Yngwie Malmsteen incident, we were actually in that competition at the same sort of part competition together with Europe, or Force as they were called back then. So we were actually competing against Force the same night, and I mean, being left-handed as I am, we got to play the last at night because too much of a hustle to turn around the drum kit, more than once. So we had to either play first or play last. So we decided we go on last. And so the Europe guys, they were hanging around that to waiting for the result, since we were the last band. So that's how they got a chance to see me play. And I heard later on, they told me that it was thanks to that show that they memorized me, and all right, that's a cool drummer. So and then well, we got kicked out of the tournament, and they went to win the whole thing. And that the night of the grand night when Europe won the prize, it was broadcasted on TV.
That was a big deal.
And it was a big deal back then. So I was sitting there watching the final on TV, and not only that, but just a couple of weeks before that, I had fallen over drunk at a school party, and I broken my arm. So I was sitting there in a cast, watching my enemies winning this contest that we were, kicked out of. So it was that was, fucking bastards, I wasn't happy about it at that point. And then they went on to record their first album, and they went on to record their second album, Wings of Tomorrow, that came in 1984. And during that time, I had been playing with different bands, and I even went to play with a synth rock band where I didn't actually play drums. I played synthesizer, singing, and dancing weirdly on stage.
Right.
I didn't even play a drum. Yeah. So I tried everything there, and actually I came to a point where I started thinking maybe I have to reconsider my rock and roll dream, and maybe I should grow up and get a proper job or something. And not long after that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, Europe's manager called me up and told me that they were looking for a new drummer, and would I be interested in audition for the band? Yeah, I was like, all of a sudden, somebody called from heaven and asked me if I wanted to go straight to paradise. It was like, that was the shit in Sweden. The biggest rock band in Sweden at the time, and with a record contract already on the go. So absolutely, I said, I'm in if I can, if I get the gig. So we had a meeting with the guys, and we decided on 4 or 5 songs from the first album and from Wings of Tomorrow. I basically went straight down to the rehearsal room where I had my drum kit, and I stayed there for a whole week. I was just breathing, eating, sleeping those 5 Europe songs for a whole week, and just listening to them, playing to them, and I was, this was a chance of a lifetime for me. And then we went, I went to the we went and had this sort of the real audition in at their rehearsal place in Stockholm, and it was kind of scary in a way, but I knew the song, so I was kind of relaxed. I just felt that you know, I had a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So we just went through the songs, and then I remember Joey said, "Well, okay, we need to go back in the back room and talk." The other guys in the band. So I was just sitting there behind my drums, and I was just like, "Wow, the most intimidating 20 minutes in my whole life." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, my ears were ringing and my heart was beating. What's going to happen here? And then the manager came in and said, "Let's go out and talk in the office." And they said that, "Okay, well, you're in." And that was it. It was like, wow, amazing. I was in heaven,